So this is Paul, an ex-spy. He's being asked to come out of retirement for an important job, to rescue a woman who is a well-known physicist from a psychiatric institution.
2 days, a week at the most, you'll have her safely on our side. Piece of cake.
So why do they need to get this guy to do it?
Because it mustn't crumble. We can't afford any screw-ups.
Paul also happens to have some interesting knickknacks, like a picture of Baphomet and some odd statues.
You don't actually practice the black arts in your spare time, do you?
No. It's just a hobby.
I'm sure that's not going to come up again.
Amazing what people do. Absolutely amazing.
Cut to Paul already bringing the woman Anna to a hideout. They're going to go to the border at midnight. He's paranoid, but she insists that everything is going to be okay.
I imagine you've had to force yourself to believe that many times in the last few years. That everything would be okay.
On the contrary, I prayed that they would kill me.
Until someone is at the door, and then she pushes the panic button.
We expect you to honor your contract.
Yeah, I'm sure that's just a regular person.
As he says, I signed the contract with them.
With them.
With the devil.
She just sold her soul to the devil, no biggie.
They made me promise to do his work for the rest of my life. And afterwards.
And he's sending some minions to collect on it. Yeah, of course these guys are demon-esque. Barely. I'm afraid these are our monsters of the week, everyone. It's not going to get more interesting than this.
Oh, Oliver, you knew what I was getting into all along, didn't you? How did you know, Oliver? I didn't believe it until now. Let's hope there's something to it, but... Silver. Silver, I need something silver.
I know silver is for werewolves. Turns out he has something else in mind.
By the power of the sign of God, I bar your way.
Same idea as the use of salt or crystals in witchcraft.
We'll be back with our master's key.
Later he does some kind of blood spell to keep them away, and he also has plans for the wood from this chest.
It's no use. Leave while you still can.
Well, her attitude sure changed in a hurry. Anyway, here they come again.
Bravo!
Utter crap.
Oh, but she's not yours.
Well, we couldn't have come in if she wasn't ours to take.
I kind of like this guy. He should have gotten a lot more screen time in this episode. Of course, the bullets don't do anything. That's actually kind of a neat weapon.
I've tried dealing with you as one professional with another. But you, sir, are hopelessly corrupt.
Demon, get the ends!
Your goodness is overwhelming.
Come! Wait.
Anyway, Paul offers his soul for hers.
My freedom for her freedom.
No!
For a soul hardly worth the trouble of corrupting, which might eventually fall to our side simply of its own weight.
That actually reminds me of Hellraiser Revelations.
She will call to us on her own.
On the other hand, your offer suggests a perverse goodness which is irresistible. Done.
No!
Except in this case, it ends up working.
What do I sign?
I'm afraid I don't carry blank forms. Handshake will do nicely.
He has burny fingers and he didn't even use them to burn the guy's hand. Come on.
And as for our previous arrangements...
And I guess she's free now.
We really must be going or we'll miss our chance. Come on.
Okay, that's kind of sweet. Sometime after Paul has taken Anna to the border and is back home, Oliver shows up again.
If you're interested, your Anna Savitska is now a member of the faculty.
You lied to me.
Paul calls him out on not telling him about Anna's unique situation and not letting on about knowing about his abilities.
How did you know about her, Oliver, or about those things following her?
Turns out that Oliver was behind the taking of his soul and...
Your contract is forever. The deal was done when you agreed, Paul, and nothing can undo it.
Paul now works for them for an eternity.
And were you behind her years of torture?
You don't imagine ordinary people run places like that, do you?
Bastard!
And the bullets don't work on him either.
Now, don't look so gloomy. You'll hardly know the difference. It's just a matter of following orders.
And so ends Refugee. Wow, it's been a while since I've had to skim over most of an episode, but here we are. This one is really a slow burn, but not in a way that quite works. I find both of these characters kind of boring and cliche. Not that I mind cliche on this show as long as they have fun with it, but they really didn't here. The story does pick up a little at the end. The head demon guy chewed the scenery a little, and that was kind of fun, and Paul giving up his soul only to be betrayed does tug at my heartstrings a little, but it just takes way too long to get to these interesting parts. They don't even use cool demon makeup for the demons, it's mostly just red coloring and some eyebrows. See Satan in the Suburbs for a much more interesting take on demons. Even if they don't always look like that, we at least get a couple of freaky demon moments. It's not worse than Taps, though. I know they say that the worst thing a movie can be is boring, and this episode definitely is, at least up until the end. Taps is painfully dumb and unfunny, but I wouldn't call it boring. That said, I do find Taps to be aggressively annoying, and this episode just kind of bores me and doesn't actively get on my nerves, so I'm still gonna stick with Taps being my worst episode. It was really close until this one picked up at the end, though. The guy who played Satan's minion, S.A. Griffin, is actually also in an episode of Alien Nation that I haven't quite gotten to yet, but it's a pretty memorable role, and I'll talk about it when I get there with that show. And yes, he looks more interesting as a newcomer on that show than he did as a demon on this one. And that's about all I have to say about this one. Next up is The Gift, which is going to be a lot better. See you then. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Here's some other videos you might be interested in. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to further support my channel, there's also Patreon.
It's my own personal Conan Hill.